Why is it so hard to find grants? Why are grants only available once a year? What if I told you that we could answer a couple of these common questions by introducing a grant that's available once a month that's not super hard to get? Welcome to LeapGround, the YouTube channel dedicated to both entrepreneurs and freelancers who also are persons with disabilities. Welcome! Today we're going to be covering grants for entrepreneurs and freelancers, specifically from the Awesome Foundation.
Their unique nonprofit distributes microgrants because they believe small ideas keep the world moving. So by providing resources, leverage, and recognition, they're turning everyday people into citizen problem solvers. Each month, 10 lucky recipients are given $1,000.
They have granted almost $6.5 million in grants and have funded over 6,000 projects, covering 80 chapters and 11 countries. Now let's cover the basics. What are the grants about offered by the foundation? How do you apply for said grants? And let's go and give you some tips on being able to secure your first grant. So I'm highlighting here a couple of the grants that are dedicated to people with disabilities. For example, the Awesome Foundation provided a grant to the New Disabled South, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization for disability rights and disability justice, specifically for individuals in the South. As another example, there was another grant provided for service dog training and certification under the chapter of Awesome Without Borders. And this was provided to the Atlas Assistance Dogs, who help people with disabilities as well. What does this all mean? This means that if you are running an organization dedicated to people with disabilities or to help people with disabilities, then yes, you are eligible to apply for the grant. Now, how do you apply for these wonderful grants? I'm going to enclose the link right here on how to apply and show you a couple of the fields included to be able to get the grant, or at least apply for the grant. If you notice, it's pretty quite simple. You have your name, your email, your phone number, your contact information, and then you have to select the chapter that you're applying to. Let's talk about the tips for how you can actually get your grant. I have 5 tips on being able to do this. Number 1 is balance. You need to remember that you need to balance the emotion of the grant application with facts and figures. You need to go both call to logic and emotion when applying for grants. Number 2 is if you have any pictures, you know what they say about pictures, right? That pictures are worth thousands of words. If you can include pictures in your application, it'll be even better. Number 3 is providing detail. Rather than just being general, be very detailed in where the grant money will be going to. What specific project and what parts of the project are you going to be funding with the grant money should you get it? Number 4 is closely related to the detail. Include a budget. If you can put allotments for where the money is going to be as specific as possible, you are more likely to get the grant because the reviewer will be able to see exactly where the money will be going. Number 5 is the most important one. Just with anything, grant applications can be a struggle, can be a mind game, but you have to keep on trying. What are our takeaways? Every grant counts. The Awesome Foundation provides $1,000, and that can go really far depending on how you budget it. Even if you don't get a grant, just remember that every success and non-success can be a learning experience. If you don't get the grant this time, try again, try other grants. But remember, every time you don't get the grant, you can take away learnings from the experience. last takeaway here is start with grant applications that are easier to fill in. The more money involved in the grant, the more detailed and the more forms and the more fields you need to fill in. If you're trying for the first time, the Awesome Foundation is, there I go again, awesome for this because there's not a lot of information required and it's relatively easy to fill out the form. I hope you took a lot from learning about the Awesome Foundation grant. I hope you also learned a couple of tips and tricks in filling out grant applications. Just remember to keep on going. And if you wanted to know how some other financing was secured by other organizations, you can click right here. Have a good day.